I believe there are two things that ultimately decide how fulfilled and happy we are. The first thing is our mindset, how we think, our programming and conditioning, and our beliefs about ourselves and the world. And secondly, it's the little things that we do every single day. Because in the end, it's what we do every day that creates our lives. You and I, we are both the results of how we use our individual 24 hours on a daily basis. It's not always been the big things that have transformed my life in the past, but actually a lot more so the little ones, the sometimes unsexy ones, the ones that require real dedication. The way we take care of ourselves, our daily routines and our rituals, those are investments in ourselves, investments that can repay us over and over and over again. They ultimately influence everything I do as a creator and an entrepreneur. Nothing is not work, if you know what I mean. I see it this way. My meditation is part of my work. My yoga and my surfing is part of my work. My healthy diet is part of my work. My sleep is also work. My therapy sessions and coaching sessions, they're also part of my work. They're all investments. They all affect how I show up every day and in the way that I create my videos or my podcast, my writing, everything that I put out into the world. All these habits and rituals, they help me to create my best work, to stay grounded in times of stress and overwhelm, and especially when I move around and travel a lot as a digital nomad. Because as someone without a permanent home, it's really important for me to have routines no matter where I am, and they always stay the same. They are part of what I call my Minimalist energy management program. I know this sounds like super big, but it's actually really simple, and I will share the details with you a little bit later in the video. I recently met up with my creator friend Alex Gasaway in Venice Beach. She's a filmmaker and fellow YouTuber who produces incredibly creative work. We spoke about the importance of healthy habits and self-care as creators, as she has recently been on a path to upgrade the way she lives and works on a daily basis.
Where am I looking? When you are fully in charge of your own schedule, it becomes even more important to be intentional about how we build and design our lives. I've made the most progress in finding this balance and making sure that you're taking care of yourself in the last few months of experimentation. I go up to my roof when I'm home. I meditate and I do a journal called Evo Planner. It has a gratitude piece involved in it, and then it also, before I do more of like my business task journaling, then I'll do visualization, affirmations, and I'll do at least some physical movement in the morning, even though I save my workout for the afternoon.
Everything you create, everything you put out into the world, every email you send, every Instagram post, everything that you share with other people, every interaction in your daily life carries your energy. And so my big question for you is, how and with what energy do you want to show up every day? The energy we put in is the energy we put out. Habits like meditation and eating healthy food and moving your body, they influence us in two ways. Number one, they help us have more energy, and number two, they help us raise our energy, by which I mean everything is energy, and energy vibrates at a frequency. And thus, if I eat a healthy salad and not a pizza, if I move my body instead of sitting all day long, if I meditate instead of scrolling on Instagram first thing in the morning, that all helps me increase my energy frequency. It's not woo-woo, it's science, my friends. Get acquainted with the idea that everything is energy. An awesome side effect is that the more you practice self-care rituals and healthy habits, the more you will feel connected to yourself. And that in itself is actually pretty awesome. there's still a lot of people, most people, I want to say, out in this world that struggle to actually implement and integrate these habits and rituals into their lives. And I always wonder, why is that? Why is it so hard for people to do that? I believe it's because people, or we as humans, we just prefer instant gratification. We just want to press a button and get the benefits. And so we have to reprogram our monkeys when it comes to establishing new habits and rituals in our lives on a daily basis. And we also have to change our mindset. And all of that takes some time. It's not instant gratification. And so many people give up before they even start reaping the real benefits. Until a habit like meditating every morning, or eating healthy, or not eating sugar too much, or doing yoga and exercising every day, until something like that becomes like brushing your teeth in the morning, something that you do without even thinking about it, it takes some time. And some people say it takes between 21 and 30 days, but I personally think that that's a great start, but it will probably take quite a bit longer until you don't have to overcome that daily resistance anymore. And that's my vision for the future, is that people wake up in the morning and they sit down to meditate because it would feel weird not to. It would be like brushing your teeth.
I would guess that I spend 4 to 6 hours on self-care routine-based situations now.
Every day?
Yeah, I think so.
Most of that in the morning?
No, it's probably it can be between an hour and 2 hours every morning, and then it's like I give myself a 2 to 3 hour afternoon time to work out, have lunch, regroup, and then evening routine is like an hour and a half.
That conscious investment in ourselves of integrating healthy habits and self-care rituals into our lives, it has an amazing ROI. And yet, so many of us wake up in the morning and the first thing they do is they grab their phone and they start scrolling through Instagram and check their email. They check in with the outside world before they actually check in with themselves by just sitting down for 10 minutes of meditation a day. There's an addiction that has formed in our brains over all these years of using our smartphones, and of course it's easier. But let's be real, because I'm human just like you, and I used to hate routines wholeheartedly. I really disliked them. When I became a digital nomad about 7 years ago or so, that was the first time I came across the idea of self-care and how important it is to have habits. But I just struggled really hard to implement them into my life, because I loved the freedom to get up in the morning and do whatever I wanted, and I wanted every day to look different. I wanted to drift through life rather than having any sort of structure that I had to follow. I was a little bit of a rebel my whole life, and I did not want to do things that I didn't want to do. And routines did not fit that bill at all. I thought that they were super uncool. And so self-care was a very foreign concept to me, and so were healthy habits and morning routines. And I'm like, what? I really only discovered how amazing all that is in my late 20s. I had to go through my fair share of burnout and emotional challenges and depression to really understand just how important daily rituals and morning routines and self-care is. I discovered meditation as I was going through heartbreak and a lot of anxiety. And I started doing yoga and surfing and moving my body every day because it helped me to get out of my head. It was really, really good for my mental and emotional health when I was exercising my body every day, because it helped me to move my energies rather than having them stuck somewhere in my body or in my brain. Eventually I started forming a morning routine and self-care rituals on a regular basis, because I suddenly started to understand just how beautiful it is to have these first few hours in the day reserved for me. I truly love starting and living my days with as little decisions to make as possible. This very repetitive routine helps me so much to stay focused and get into the zone quicker and into a flow of creation. There are really only 3 main principles to my minimalist energy management program, and it's very simple. It's meditation, it's movement, and it's nutrition. Those build the framework, they're the basis, the fertile ground on which I build my life and all my creations on. And if you're just getting started to align your life and your work with your calling and your purpose, then those three are really the first things that you should focus on. Sit with yourself in meditation every morning. Let it be in silence or with a guided meditation. Let it be for 5 minutes or 10 minutes in the beginning, or at best maybe 20 or 30 minutes.
I think it's one of the most important parts. So whether that is meditation or just sitting and thinking and reflecting, that can have a massive impact on every aspect of your life. And that is the thing that I will never give up, for sure. Like, no matter what day it is, I can't even begin my day without that time.
Move your body. I mean, I personally prefer yoga because it really connects me to my body so well and keeps me grounded. But I love surfing and being in the ocean as well. I love swimming. I love hiking. I love being outside in nature. But whatever works for you.
You feel so much better when you move your body. Your brain works better, your health is better.
And eat food that makes you feel alive, because it is alive. It's alive food, meaning it is unprocessed, it's clean, it's fresh. And just eat veggies and fruits, man. They are just soaked up with light from the sun, and they just make you feel so good, rather than a lot of gluten and bread and pizzas and burgers and all the processed stuff and sugars. Try to keep it as simple as possible. I have a lot more habits that I talked about in previous videos, but in its simplest form, I get most of my energy from meditating, moving my body, and eating healthy. I believe that the level at which you take care of yourself is a direct reflection of the love that you have for yourself. Our bodies are our most valuable physical assets. They're like our temples. So I want to ask you, why would you not give it amazing, beautiful, fresh food? Why would you not move it every single day? Why would you not want to connect to it in meditation? Secondly, they will set you apart from most of humanity out there. Most people out there don't take care of themselves in that way. So by you really dedicating yourself to your body and your soul and your mental, emotional, and physical well-being, that will enable you to do things that most people never will. It's not about perfectionism, none of this is. Because if you think it is, then you will only set yourself up for failure. What energy do I want to show up every day? And if you ask yourself that question in the morning when you wake up, that should give you a really good reason to treat yourself with the utmost self-care and respect. And eventually it'll all be like brushing your teeth.
I feel more invigorated, excited, and productive during the hours that I'm working, and it's lovely.
It is lovely.
Happier life.
That's amazing.
That way, yeah.
Happier life, happier wife. I mean,
it's both.
Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Talk to you soon. Bye.